Good matchup right now.
And here we go. We are off. Hippo starting directly in the sanctuary finds a piece of heart. 50 bucks in Link's house.
So 2 things our runners want to find right away. Rupees and bombs. That's what you want to get started with.
You want to make sure you have enough money for stuff like the bottle vendor and Zora. You want to make sure you have bombs for Kakariko and all of the hidden treasure troves it has hiding. So let's see what they find here. g3rd0's already finding some bombs, courtesy of the guard, and going for the tree pull gets only $5.
That's a really nice bomb drop, though. Getting an 8-pack. Tree pull, only green rupees. So there's a couple of trees they can pull. Multiple different trees.
Hoarder with bombs.
Nice.
That means he is stocked and ready to go. Let's see what Uncle has for him. Meanwhile, Hippo checking the Lumberjack 5-arrow upgrade from Uncle and 5-bomb upgrade from the Lumberjack. So nothing yet, but we're just getting started. Who knows what we'll find as we enter the Lost Woods in Kakariko Village.
Man, so many bombs this seed. Sometimes it's difficult. You sort of struggle looking for those bombs in the beginning. I mean, like we mentioned, you can get rupees. You could buy bombs if you really need to. But, just so many now. And with the bush crab dropping bombs, easy to farm.
And we just got a map check from g3rd0. Looks like green pendant at Harrow, red pendant at Eastern, crystal at Desert. So this one's going to be difficult because a lot of the crystals are in the Dark World, unfortunately.
You mean it's going to be more time-consuming?
I'm sure that's what our fans want. More time, more troll.
Yep. So I will point out the fact that we have 2 pendants in the light world. It means the cane is absolutely required. You're going to need it either for Mire or Turtle Rock, if not both.
And one of those is guaranteed to be a crystal dungeon, so we will be looking for the big red cane. Haven't found any items yet, unfortunately. This is already starting off on a slow foot.
Certainly that also not means a jet seed.
No, certainly not. But then again, we haven't seen Kakariko. What does it have to offer? Checking out Blind's Hut here on Hippo side. What do we find? Starting off, we get triple bombs, 20 big 20, heart container, and a piece of heart. Wow, Blind's Hut not offering anything yet. Let's see what the back of it has.
I mean, early hearts not too bad. A little extra protection.
And big 20 from the back of Blind's Hut. So yeah, Blind's Hut offering nothing but love, mostly. Having some heart containers is good early on, especially if we don't find any mail upgrades for a while. So that's good to have some extra defense, but they need to start finding some items soon. So hopefully they'll find something in the well.
I mean, they have a lot of places they have left to check still. This is just getting started. We're only 3 minutes in.
And there's the bow.
Oh, there it is.
And Power Glove. Ask and you shall receive.
Maybe I was a little too early. Oh my gosh.
Call Phantom Ryu because it's gotta be Kane.
You know
and those boots. What was that? Another beat a jet seed?
Yeah, this is a jet seed. Wow, what a well! Every single chest. That's so many.
And profit from the bottle vendor, paying 100, getting an extra 200 back.
All right, so they got bow. That's great. They can complete Eastern. It's a pendant dungeon, but they can fully clear it, assuming they can do dark rooms. They have a glove that gets them access up the Death Mountain, back of Escape, Zora. They have progression at this point. Yeah,
that was an incredible play there. Could not believe we found that much that early. 20 bucks from the tavern. Oh my. We just when we thought this scene was going to start off slow, the well says nope.
Now this is what's going to be interesting. Both of our runners have so much open to them at this point. We might see some early divergence. There's a sword in the library.
Fighter sword on the library. Wow. Pretty glad they found those boots when they did, huh?
Yep.
Let's see if the race game and see what it has to offer. And we find just 20 bucks. Time to go check the South Shore.
Hippo hasn't even been to this area. He didn't visit Uncle. There was nothing really over there, so he's not missing out just yet. So I'm going to assume Hippo's doing the normal Southern Light World check. He'll hit Mini Moldorm after the dam here.
Sounds about right. g3rd0 actually heading upwards. Is he going to check? Now, I'm pretty sure he checked. He's going straight to Bonk Cave and maybe even up to Death Mountain early.
We could get an early diversions right away.
No kidding. That'd be interesting. $50 from the Bonk Cave. Let's see what the dam has to offer now that it's been drained. What do we find? Moon Pearl!
Oh my gosh. They are one item away from entering Dark World. You need either another glove or the hammer.
Oh, this seed, I'm telling you, heading into the Mini Moldorm Cave, g3rd0 doing his lumberjack check. But with the sword, this Mini Moldorm Cave won't be too difficult. Indeed, g3rd0 is going up to Death Mountain early. That is a gamble.
So this is a sequence break. Technically, you need the lantern or the flute to get up to Mountain at this point. Once he does get up there, he'll only be able to access 2 items. One from the Old Man and one inside of Spectacle Rock.
And half magic from the Mini Moldorm Cave, but that's the only thing he found. Never required, but always nice to find. That'll make it easier to use his rods, medallions, whatnot. He's got that Cane of Samaria, so that'll be useful. So certainly not a bad find. Let's see what the Old Man gives g3rd0 here. Just a piece of heart. So, yeah, with limited access right now, he can only check so many places up here at Death Mountain anyway. You can only really check Spectacle Rock Cave right now. Not exactly very profitable. So, this, like I said, this is a gamble. He is counting on finding something big in Spectacle Rock Cave. Let's see. Hippo checking the Ice Rod Cave, and he finds the Magic Cave.
No. So, this is interesting. If they get Lantern, while still looking for that hammer or glove, they're gonna have to make a call to do Aghanim or not, and this seed has been so giving at this point.
I didn't see what was in the Spectacle Rock Cave, but it must have been something good because g3rd0 is going for it.
It's ether.
Let's see what
medallion.
he found. Was it a medallion? Okay. Oh yeah, ether. Okay,
could be
well,
useful.
Still,
we don't know.
We don't know yet. It could be required medallion, so definitely grab it while you can. Piece of heart on Lake Hylia Island, so not going to be seeing that this seed. But let's see what the Hobo has. As Hippo is fake flippering over there.
So Hippo's doing another sequence break on his end. He doesn't have flippers yet. He did the fake flipper glitch, a minor glitch, which allows him to visit all of these water locations.
And with the Moon Pearl, he'll even be able to do the water walking glitch later on. And let's see what the Hobo has. Yeah, vanilla bottle, but with some green goo inside. So a little Mountain Dew for him as g3rd0 headed into the back end of Escape. They got 3 more chests to find, and we find the lamp, $20, and a key. So he was thinking about it, but he's like, I got that small key, I got that lamp, I'm going to go check the sewers.
So Aghanim's a potential at this point. We still are missing that one item to get to Dark World. However, with that lantern and cape, they can get there. They can kill Aghanim to get to the Dark World.
Yeah, because with that lamp now, Death Mountain is in the logic again. So this works out for him. Let's see what the Waterfall of Wishing has as Hippo is setting up the water walking glitch. You need the Moon Pearl to do this. And we find piece of heart and $20. And g3rd0 found the map in the sewer. So that means the rest of the items are in the dungeon area, which has not been checked yet.
So that's a shame to walk all that way and just get the map. But yeah, like you said, there's 3 items in the front portion. And they're all items because we've seen the small key at this point.
Exactly. So it's a very big play. Piece of heart on Zora's ledge. So he is not, I don't think he has the money for Zora yet, so he's not going to go bother checking it.
Just shy. That's a shame. He's going to have to backtrack all the way to Zora in the future. And with Aghanim being a potential, do you want that hanging over your head where, hey, maybe Zora has that extra glove?
Oh, he's going to get the money he needs, or at least more close to it, because he's getting the money from the bond glitch, which I believe was a 50. So let's see what g3rd0 finds. Flippers!
We keep getting sequence breaks and then immediately getting the item that cancels out the sequence break.
That is funny as all get out. So yeah, g3rd0 now really finding everything he needs to fully check all the overworld locations here in the light world. But let's see what else he finds downstairs as he goes further in.
Now, g3rd0 didn't do anything related to the southern portion or fake flippers, so he might just opt to do real flippers, and he should have enough, and he does have enough rupees to visit Zora while he's there.
He set himself up in a very efficient setup here to check everything very quickly. He will have to do very little doubling back, which always is a good way to play when you know you don't have to double back that often.
I like the use of bow here. It's a lot faster.
Yep, let's see what's in Zelda's treasure chest, and it's just triple bombs. He is done and out of there. At this point, I would say the next call might be at least checking the items in Eastern Palace.
Eastern is a great location. They'll be able to get 5 to 6 items depending on if Armos even has anything. And it's a pendant dungeon. If you can get all the items there, you might never need to return.
Indeed, and it looks like, but instead, g3rd0 still has, like you said, has not checked the South Shore, so that's where he's going. However, Hippo is going to Eastern Palace. He's got the lamp and the bow, so he can full clear it logically. And plus, there's also Sir Hassela's closet with 3 more items to check, and he can even, and so that's, no matter what, that's a good play to make.
I mean, from our perspective, we have the Eastern area, we have Zora, since we haven't seen what Zora has, and Aegina's cave over by the desert. Like, that's all they can access.
Hook shot!
And Death Mountain now.
Yep, that just opened up for him. Oh, man. This is
great
good.
Location. They won't be able to visit Hera, but there's still 8 things over on the right-hand side of Death Mountain.
So Hippo's now heading into Eastern Palace. Like we said, there's 3 unique items, and even if and he can full clear because he has the bow and the lamp. So this is definitely the right call to make. Even if Armos Knights have an item, he can get it, and could even be one step closer to pedestal if that ends up being required. Though at this point, we do not know. Early big key. That's always nice to find. Saves a little time there.
Hopefully. I mean, if they only get 2 items and they reach the big chest, then it's like, do you just go kill Armos, hoping they drop the item, or is it at the big key chest? I hate having to make that decision, but what are you gonna do? g3rd0 about to pick up his cape, and it looks like he's traveling out, so he's probably just going to do the whole Zora and Lake Hylia path.
Makes sense at this point. He can check all of that without having to do any minor glitches, which always is a nice thing to do. So let's see what Hippo finds here in the rest of Eastern Palace. He hasn't found any items yet, so we're going to see something. All right, so that's all the dungeon items right off the bat.
Oh, they're all items. So that's a good call then. He can go to visit the big key chest. He knows he's going to get something.
He's going to have to do vanilla big key, and he's going to have to do Armos Knights. $20 from the big chest. So let's see what the rest of the palace has to offer. And I'm almost betting he's going to go for the Armos Knights and get his blue pendant while he's at it.
I mean, they drop an item at this point. Might as well. Boots, of course, making Eastern a nice quick dungeon. There's a lot of these areas where you can just dash straight through.
Makes it so much easier.
And it's funny.
Oh, and there's triple bombs. Not much. So the last item's on the Armos Knights. Let's see what he finds.
It's funny that this doesn't even gives you boots, and it's set up for boots so well. It's sort of like, here, if only you were able to dash through this part, wouldn't have this been nice?
It twists the knife in the vanilla game, doesn't it? And I'm based on the chat, I will apologize for how loud I can be sometimes. I'll try not to be too loud in the future, but when the hype comes, the hype comes.
Hey, it's only appropriate. All right, we're going to check out what Zora has for sale. This could be a big deal.
Indeed. Let's see what $500 gave you. A life lesson, love lesson, or worth just a life lesson?
One of those big 20s. All right, Hippo's going to get something from Armos, and he's almost there.
And now g3rd0 going to be making the same play. He's heading over to the Eastern Palace area, so he should be checking out those items as well. Whatever we find here, we know g3rd0's going to get it pretty soon. Not a little trouble with the Armos Knights, but nothing too serious. Gets that nice shot. Only 10 arrows for his trouble, so Eastern Palace a complete waste, but at least he gets the red pendant for it.
Absolutely nothing in Eastern, but hey, hookshot at least they picked up behind Sahara. That, I think, is the big deal of coming to this area.
And Hippo now going to save and quit out. He can go... Now might be the time to consider going up to Death Mountain at this point, because there's really not much else he can check. I mean, he can check Agnes Cave in the desert, but right now, the odds of it being anything big are slim. So, yeah, I don't see him doing it. Oh, I think he's checking Escape, because he hasn't checked all that yet.
Now, this is interesting. If he had done Death Mountain first, and then come to the front of Escape, he could probably just make the call of going to kill Aghanim. If he doesn't get anything up at Death Mountain to get him into the Dark World, he could have, done a Death Warp after checking off Escape. It's not too much of a time loss, though. He could just save and quit to Link's house and run up. You know, this seed has been very generous with items. I'm sort of curious what item will end up trolling them in the end. They still need a fair bit. They're going to need at least Fire Rod. They're going to need Hammer. They're going to need Gloves. They might need Mirror. So keep an eye out for all of those items.
Absolutely, and we also have to consider what could be on the pedestal at this point, but we don't know where the last pendant's going to be. That could be the difference in what is on the pedestal, because if it's on Turtle Rock, that cuts it down significantly.
Yep.
All we can say for now is let the speculation begin. And I'm sure the chat will do just that, because that's what they love to do best. They like to find the trolliest chains they can find for runners to have to find the last item. And trust me, you guys come up with some genius chains.
Stick a vanilla item in the dungeon it comes from, and that is trolly just enough by itself.
Since we're seeing a lot of similar paths here, I'm going to take this early opportunity to remind you folks, if you enjoy Hippo and g3rd0's run in their race, please give them a follow on Twitch. It is always appreciated to show your support for these amazing runners who work hard for your entertainment.
Hippo's taking a Death Warp. Is he going to go kill Aghanim?
He just might.
Oh, this is interesting.
Taking a gamble here, because we still have a lot of stuff on Death Mountain he could check with that hook shot, but he is not wasting time. Yeah, he's going for Aghanim.
Oh my gosh, we're having a play here.
This could either be him taking an early lead by making a play that we know is going to be made later, or it could be a complete waste of time that could cost them the race. This is a gamble of the highest order.
It's going to take him about 3 minutes to get through Aghanim's tower here. He only has a fighter sword, so he's going to resort to using the bow here just to make this part a little faster. Ideally, you want something like Fire Rod, or just a better sword to make your path through faster. g3rd0 is finishing up the Armos Knights on his side. He'll get himself a nice 10 arrow pack.
Gets his arrows back that he wasted there.
A little bit of a refund, not too bad.
Not too bad at all. So the question is, what move does he make? Because I don't no, he was he the one that made it to Death? No, yeah, he was the one that already went to Death Mountain. He might choose to go back up there since he could just save and quit and start right back to the old man. He might decide to make that play, and that will be the time where we determine whose gamble pays off, and it looks like that's exactly what he's doing.
All right. Moment of truth. We have 8 items on the right-hand side. If g3rd0 finds hammer or gloves, or anything that leads to that, this would be a good call.
It's like I've always said, when you get runners as good as these guys, the ones that are in our main tournament in these group stages, it always will come down to who makes the bigger gambles and whose gambles pay off. Yeah. This is where we're going to determine that. I'm going to call it now. This is the deciding moment, because this will determine who holds the lead for the majority of this race.
You know what is actually interesting? If g3rd0 only gets the gloves, that means he has to swim to the right-hand side of Dark World from the Village of Outcast portal. So that could help Hippo.
Oh, we got Blue Mail to start things off at the bottom end there, so that's not too bad. Not what he's looking for, though, but hey, a little extra defense, never turn that down.
Hippo down to 1.5 hearts. He should be fine, but he's going to have to take it easy.
We find 50 rupees, 300 rupees. Still nothing yet. Got to take out those Moldorms real quick. And then we have $5, Ice Rod, and Master Sword.
Useful, but not Dark World access.
So it might just be Hippo that made the right play here, going to Aghanim early, because he does not need the Master Sword for this, and he can get through it. This could play off in his favor.
And he can backtrack up the Death Mountain later on when he actually has something else up there, like Mitts, so he can visit Dark World, or Hammer, so he can just finish the dungeon Hera up there.
All right, so get your calls in chat. How many blue balls are we going to see? There's one. Meanwhile, g3rd0 finishing up Spike Cave. Finds a heart container. Did not find what he was looking for, so it looks like Aghanim was indeed required.
Well, 15's not possible anymore. Ideally, you want 0 to 2, because then it's just you only see 1 lightning.
If you hit every shot back at him, the most you could potentially get is 15, if I know the count, remember my count correctly.
Yep.
But that also depends on whether or not you actually get every shot.
Oh,
ooh,
just 1.
1. That is a nice Aghanim fight. Hippo must be very happy to have that. Did not waste much time. Now let's see what's on the pyramid, and whether or not this pays off for him. And we have just triple bombs.
Now, they do have a lot of access into the Dark World here. They could go into early pod. They can visit and get most of the items. It looks like Hippo's actually going that way. They can also head north, since they have a glove and they have hookshot, and go over to the left-hand side.
Yep, I did not see where the blue pendant was, but I saw crystals 5 and 6 at Misery Mire and Skull Woods.
Swamp was the blue pendant.
Oh, that's a tease. So, that is such a tease.
If we want to talk pedestal seeds, Fire Rod, Flute, and what else are they missing? Can't be Mirror. It can't be Hammer. So yeah. Fire Rod and Flute.
And Hippo paying off everyone's favorite extortionist, Kiki the Monkey, as he heads into the Palace of Darkness. a good amount of items in here, but this is also known as the Mullet Mansion, since most of the keys are usually in the front, and most of the items in the back. Business in the front, party in the back.
And mitts, yes. Thank you, Chad.
Mitts are also possible, but we'll see what we find here. Now remember, if he does not find the vanilla hammer here, if he does not find vanilla hammer, he will be locked out of full clearing it, but he'll be able to find all the items at the very least.
If g3rd0 opts not to go into pod, this again is another divergence. So let's just wait and see. Let's see what happens. Like, Hippo's slightly ahead at this point because he didn't go up to Death Mountain. However, he needs to find some worth in pod to make up for it.
Also, thank you to Frostoys for the $4.99 sub. We appreciate the support. Now g3rd0 making his way to Aghanim 1. We know it won't take him too long to finish this fight, so we'll see what happens. Cart container so far in pod over in the central chest. Let's see what else he finds.
Ooh, big key. Good thing he actually opted to check the front side. I've seen some runners go straight to the back. Of course, it's a little hard without the hammer to do that.
All right, so Hippo now still making his way through. g3rd0 finishing off Aghanim 1. Now
So
we're going to start seeing... yeah?
I'm curious where he's going to go.
That's true. And Hippo now going to be starting to make his way into pod regular, and we'll see what he finds along the way. This is where we're going to start seeing the items showing up. Oh, he's going to use the conveyor belt spike there to death warp back to the front.
We haven't seen the sick kid yet, have we?
No, I don't believe we have. Ooh, that could be interesting.
So both our runners making the same call. There were a couple of places they could have checked to get the hammer or mitt. So if Sick Kid gives them those items, or they're over at Gina's Cave, that means they could be thinking their opponent picked it up instead of killing Aghanim.
That's very true, and it looks like actually g3rd0's heading up. He's going to Catfish first. That was not checked by Hippo, so this could be there's another gamble here. Not a big one, but it can make the difference in the long run.
I think we're going to see g3rd0 head to the left-hand side after he's done here. And there's plenty of things to go. He can ultimately make his way over to Hype Cave. Checking a couple dungeons on the way, like Skull Woods and Thieves.
Only 5-arrow upgrade from the Catfish. Meanwhile, Hippo checking the 2 chests in the lower end of pod. Finds a piece of heart on one side, on the other, just 20 bucks.
Absolutely nothing so far in pod. I haven't been keeping track of the number of items. I think he's gotten like 3 so far, so there's 2 more.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And this seed is holding out on them. It's going to pick up fast soon.
It gave them too much too early, and now it's like, well, you're going to have to look for the last few items. They can't all be jet seeds.
Nope.
Supposedly.
And there's the compass, so I think the map is still floating around.
Oh, Hippo setting up for a death warp.
Well, it depends on once you find the big chest here. And what is it? Heart container.
And just to save and quit.
Well, he doesn't have the hammer, so he will have to come back here once he gets the hammer to finish off the Helmisar King. Meanwhile, g3rd0, like you said, heading to the left side, heading into Skull Woods. Only has 2 unique items, but in the version 26 logic, this had a 45% chance of having progression items. And I don't think version 27 changed that too much, so this is not a bad call to make.
So just like that, g3rd0 is now slightly ahead of Hippo. But again, Hippo... Ooh,
Mirror!
there's the mirror! Hippo has not gone to Death Mountain and gotten his Master Sword yet.
Yeah, the g3rd0 seems to have done the more efficient routing here, and it's paying off for him. Finding the mirror, which means now he's going to have a lot easier access to different areas. He can also travel through dungeons a little faster since he can just mirror instead of having to death warp like Hippo's been doing. Speaking of, Hippo now heading over to Catfish. I'm not going to find much there, unfortunately.
Man, we just need to see the hammer, and then they'll be able to visit the pedestal. That's true. First chest in Swamp is now open to our runners with that mirror. Could be hammer for that ultimate troll.
That is that. Like I said, the blue pendant being a swamp is a tease because it may not be required dungeon, but you never know. There could be progression items in there. I've seen it happen too many times to count. So let's see, g3rd0 finding everything he can right now in Skull Woods. I don't think he found the second item, so it's gonna be in the back end, which he cannot get to right now since he needs the fire rod for that. So I'm guessing his next call is gonna be Village of Outcasts.
Now, Thieves is a crystal dungeon. However, there's one chest that is blocked and requires hammer. So it could be a tough call to decide to go in early. There's a lot of, 4 items total that could be in Thieves. And, do you want to make that gamble that I can get everything?
That's a very good question here. 5-bomb upgrade from the Sea House. Not finding it yet. So let's see what the rest of Village of Outcasts has. Meanwhile, Hippo going to check the Bumper Cave. He can get it if there's an item there. Let's see what he finds. And it's just a 5-bomb upgrade, unfortunately. Not going to be getting that. g3rd0 finding $350 in the treasure house. That's a profit.
Oh, here we go. Sick Kid check on g3rd0's end.
Makes sense to do that now. He's right there. Best to get it out of the way. Let's see if the Sick Kid pays off. And for a bottle, he gives us just $20.
Just a little bit from the piggy bank.
And then you can just go right down and check the bombable hut here. Very good, very efficient routing here by g3rd0, being able to check all these items the way he is. And let's see what else he finds. Just 10 arrows, unfortunately.
All right, our runners are starting to struggle to get those last few items. So many places to check.
Absolutely.
To get those big 20s.
And he's going to make the gamble on Thieves Town here. We know the big key is going to be within these first 4 chests, but what else will he find? Oh, there's the big key now.
So 4 items total. Hopefully they can get them all. Otherwise, they're going to worry that the big chest has something in here.
And I've seen that be the deciding factor in races in the past, so definitely don't want to leave it out. And for those asking while we're checking items here, if you want to play Link to the Past Randomizer, you can. If you have the Japanese 1.0 ROM of the game, you can go to the website. You can search for this on Google, and there's a link to it, and there's some information in the chat for you as well. You can do this yourself, and there's plenty of ways to play. They just added Key Sanity to the mix, which randomizes not only the unique items, but also randomizes where all the keys are, as well as map and compass, so you can really randomize your game if you want to. So definitely consider joining. It's a lot of fun, and if you want to learn more, the community is very welcoming to new players. You can learn a lot very quickly. Definitely get involved if you're interested.
Nice use the cape for g3rd0 there, getting through the hellway. And looks like Hippo's going to take a death warp to get a health refill. Even though he has the mirror, this way he has more health while he visits the rest of Dark World.
Makes sense. Very, again, logical play. And there's a heart container in Thieves Town.
So that's what, our second item here? I can't remember if they found compass or map in the first 4 chests. I know they got a small key and a big key, and then the item.
I think they got the map already.
Okay, so they got 3 items so far from what chat says.
So they're really hoping that the last chest is in the Maiden's chest. Because that's the one they want to get.
Hippo instantly gonna use his mirror and check out the graveyard ledge here, and he might also decide to do King's Tomb since he can mirror and go visit it.
Yep, not a bad play to make. All right, let's see what we get here. There's a piece of heart, so that's it for Thieves Town. But he's gonna go ahead and full clear it since he doesn't have to worry about the big chest now. He knows that the map and compass are in the big chest and on blind, so he can just go ahead and full clear this, get his crystal, and get out.
I mean, it's good news for our runners. They don't have to come and backtrack for that big chest. It is a crystal dungeon, so it wasn't really a time lost to visit those chests anyway. Extra health will make it nice and a little easier in the Dark World.
On top of that, g3rd0 has Master Sword. Doesn't do any extra damage to blind since it's guaranteed 9 hits, but it does give him a little extra range to hit him. $20 from the King's Tomb, unfortunately, so not much there for Hippo.
Honestly, at this point, I'm really hoping for that hammer in Swamp. I want to see that. That would have to be, you know, the shade aspect of the seed coming out to troll us.
Absolutely. That's the kind of thing you love, is because you know these runners will avoid pendant dungeons for as long as they can until they know they've checked everything else, because I've seen every runner do that, and that ends up being the deciding factor. Who goes for the pendant dungeon first and which one pays off?
Looks like g3rd0's heading north in the Dark World, so he's going to check the same locations Hippo was just at.
And Hippo's now in Thieves Town, so he's going to be checking all the things g3rd0 just checked. So once again, we're kind of crisscrossing here.
Yeah, hammer can only be in the first chest in Swamp. It can be there. I've seen it. It happens. I mean, in terms of where our runners can look, I mean, they still have plenty of Dark World here to do. They can go south of town. They can do Hype Cave. They can get into Swamp, although there's only 1 chest there. They can get into Sahara and fully clear it. They don't have a way to get into Desert just yet, though.
No, not yet. They need at least either the flute or the book to get into Desert at this time. They also, let's see... In terms of Dark World access, well, they have the flippers, but they need the Titan's Mints in order to get to Ice Palace. Yeah, at this point, there's not many places they can check. I would say Tower of Hera is their best call.
Definitely. I would like to see if Hype Cave actually lives up to its name this seed, though.
It's feeling like it might be that way. Signal C in the chat also pointing out Dig Game, Old Stumpy, the Mirror Cave south of the Grove. Of course, we said what I like to call the cave formerly known as Hype Cave, though this seed it just might be. We'll see.
All right, g3rd0 is making that call to go visit these areas. It's like what? 7 things? No, 8 things. Sorry, there's 5 in Hype Cave.
Yep. Well, let's see what the digging game gives us and how many digs it's going to take to find it. $24 digs and only found $20 for it.
There's a total of 30 digs that you could do to get an item there. 24 is on the high end.
Yes, it is, and didn't even pay off for him. So we're now going to check the Mirror Cave and then probably Old Stumpy. Only a 5-arrow upgrade in the Mirror Cave, not paying off there.
G3rd0 getting the bomb ready. He's gonna go visit Hype Cave after this.
Oh, yeah. And old Stumpy only with 20 bucks. This C's holding out on him now.
I'm telling you, it's that first chest of swamp. It's something.
It's starting to look more and more that way, my friend. I definitely don't discount your idea, but let's see. Let's see what the former Hype Cave has for us here. 5 potential items. Will we see some hype today?
Get your resident sleepers ready in chat.
And here's what we've got. Starting off, we get 5 bomb upgrade from the Thief. And from the 4 chests in the back, we get Fisher Price Shield. 5 bucks, 20 bucks, and 300 bucks. Trash Cave.
Wow. All the rupees, though. I love how they were in order.
That was interesting. But nothing in the cave at all. That was definitely a trash cave. But that's why I call it formerly the Hype Cave, because it is no longer hype. So it's between Tower of Hare and Swamp. So where is g3rd0 going?
g3rd0 is going to do his own early dip of pod. Now, he has Mirror, so he'll be able to go through a little faster, but we already seen Hippo do this, and there was nothing here.
Absolutely. So this will be inevitably a waste of time, since we're going to have to double dip into this dungeon, but it's not a forced double dip. So there's no reason to do this, but they don't know that.
I would not be surprised to see Hippo actually go up to Death Mountain after he's done checking like the Hype Cave area, unless he decides to do it right after Thieves. He has the mirror. He hasn't been there yet, so he'll be able to clear Hera and also go to the right-hand side and get his Master Sword.
And if the mitts are in there, he can also check the Dark Death Mountain, which will be really good.
This could turn out really well for Hippo if he decides to go to Death Mountain after this.
Hippo, they're getting a pretty close fight.
I mean, honestly, it's hard to say who's in the lead at this point. Our runners are both pretty much at the same spot. They have 1 crystal each. They have the same amount of progression items. g3rd0 is currently doing something that Hippo did earlier.
Yeah, we're 40, almost 45 minutes in, and this is still anybody's race at this point. This could go any way, any direction, depending on what moves these guys play. But Hippo is going to head to the south end of Dark World, just like g3rd0 did. He's not going to find much, unfortunately. But what he does afterwards, that is the difference maker.
Hippo has a lot of digging ahead of him. Still. We have the first chest in Swamp. We have Aegina, which was open to them in the very beginning, and Hera. From what we can tell and what they can access, that's all that's left.
Yeah, not much at all. One of those has to have something. The question is which one and who goes there first.
They can't even get in the Spike Cave at this point. There's only 2 items up at Death Mountain that we haven't seen just yet. So 2 in Hera, 1 at Aegina's Cave, and 1 in Swamp. Like, this is what we're down to at this point. Oh, g3rd0 doing a bomb jump.
Ooh, one of the trickier bomb jumps to do, because you only have 1 shot. Otherwise, you have to reset the room. But he gets it. Gets his hard container. He'll be getting everything else in the back in the dark maze on the way out. Not a bad play. Again, if only it had paid off. Now Hippo going to be getting his stuff from the trash cave.
Desert Palace, they have no way of entering it. They need either book or flute to get over there. So desert is not an option. So Hippo did a save and quit. Since he has the mirror and he killed Aghanim, it actually sends you to the pyramid. That's the only time that'll send you to the pyramid when you do a save and quit in the dark world. So he has to mirror to the light world. He's in Sanctuary.
I think he's making the plane. I think he's making the plane on Death Mountain.
Oh, he hasn't even been there once yet.
No, he hasn't. He has not. He has avoided Death Mountain for quite a while now, but he's going up there now. This works out for him because he's going to be able to check a lot more than g3rd0 did.
Now, he doesn't know this. He probably wasn't even sure Aghanim was required. So he did all of those checks, and he could be worried that g3rd0's like way ahead. But it just turned out to be okay. And it looks like g3rd0 is making his way up to Hera. Hippo right on his heels.
Yeah, g3rd0 would have been far behind, but he's already been up here, so he's checking all of this now. He's going to go into Tower of Hera. He's already checked East Death Mountain as well, so this works out for him.
All right, what are we going to find in Pendant Hera? There's 2 items, and it's the Sahara Pendant.
Yeah, that's always the interesting. What does Sahara have? Small key starting things off. That's tempting a basement run. Also, thank you to About a Dirk for the $4.99 free sub. Always appreciating your support, my friend.
Oh, Fire Rod.
Ho ho! That means the big key is in the basement, but Fire Rod, that just opened up a couple of places.
Well, one important place, Skull Woods, still has 1 item there.
Yeah, but it also, because they have the cane in both rods, that's making Turtle Rock look a little more promising, though they need the hammer and the Titan's mitts to get to that.
I mean, based on what they have, if they get hammer and Titans, they pretty much have access to everything else except a way to enter desert. So if you guys want to hope for trolls, you'd want to see Flute or Book in Turtle Rock. Oh, Hippo didn't pick up Ether. Did he see it?
I don't think he did. He must not have checked Spectacle Rock Cave. So we'll see if that comes back to bite him later. It may not be necessary. That might be the one pendant they don't need, so who knows? Chat saying he did see it, so I guess he figures he'll get it on the way out, maybe. Okay, so we still got 1 more item hiding somewhere in Tower of Hera. And of course, again, that 3rd potential item with Moldorm holding the green pendant. Hippo using the coffee break strats there for the tile room. And there's a red rupee, so he's not even going to check the big chest because we know it doesn't have anything now.
But he is going to continue to Moldorm because, as I mentioned, Sahara's Pendant looks like he's going to pick that up and check it out later.
Would make sense to do so. Because I've seen Sir Hassel more often than you think pay out, so definitely not a bad call to make. So he's going to take on Trolldorm. Yes, we know he's called Moldorm, but we call him Trolldorm for a reason. If you played this game before, you know why. But he takes him out rather easily there with a few spin slashes. Gets his green pendant and burrito for his trouble. Hope you're hungry.
That's our 2nd pendant. We're so close to a pedestal C, chat.
Oh, don't tease them like that there, Jet. Do not tease them.
It's too late. It's already been done. The hope is there.
Oh, you evil, evil man.
So they now can finish Skull Woods. Aegina, still an option. And we have that Sahara Pendant.
Where is g3rd0 going?
Oh, he's not gonna go for the Sahara Pendant. Interesting. This could, I mean, it's not taking too much time, but it is gonna make him think about it. He can't go to the right-hand side from up here. He actually has to go down and use Hookshot. Okay, he's gonna get Ether on the way.
It's like I said.
That's a huge gamble. Because if you do need to get the Sahara Pendant, it's a far way. It's probably going to be like the last place he actually does.
Now it looks like g3rd0 is going to head back into Skull Woods because he wants to finish that off. He's taking the cue from the Fire Rod, saying, "Hey, I got the Fire Rod. There's an item in Skull Woods. I better go get that."
For a moment there, I thought Hippo was just going to leave Death Mountain, but no, he is going to go to the right-hand side first, which is good. He'll get his Master Sword and his Ice Rod.
g3rd0 not even bothering to get the key from the skull because he's got 2 already. He knows he's got enough to finish this. So the question is, where's the last item? Does Mothula have it, or is it in that one chest that you got to go the long way around to get to?
Well, this is a crystal dungeon, so makes sense to kill Mothula first.
Oh, bonked into the Wall Master by that g3rd0. That's never fun.
They have half magic, though. It's not too big of a deal.
No, it's not a huge time loss for him, but it's gonna. It's just the feeling of getting caught by that thing that drives you nuts.
Yep.
And to add to the fun, g3rd0 getting bunny beamed.
There's a nice sword upgrade for Hippo and an Ice Rod.
All right, so g3rd0 now heading into Mothula. He's got the half magic. He's only got Master Sword, so that'll make it a little trickier. But if he plays his cards right and keeps Mothula away from the spikes, he should be in good shape.
Can you really keep Mothula away from the spikes, though? Look at this.
No.
He just loves the spikes.
He does. He does.
How did anyone beat this as a kid? I have no idea.
And gets a compass. That means the last item is in that back chest. He's going to have to go back in and get it.
You know, I still can't say at this point that this was definitely an Aghanim seed. Until we see a Judas Cave or we find both hammer and gloves, we have no idea.
And the worst part is we don't have the Book of Medora, so g3rd0 can't even check the pedestal to see if it's required. That would have been funny if he could, and it turns out it was.
The hammer!
Stop! Hammer time!
Wow, what a find. Oh no, Hippo's gonna go to Zora.
Oh, he hasn't checked that yet. He's going to regret that later. It's like I said earlier, having to double check places you've already been to just because you haven't finished it yet, that can come back to haunt you, and that's exactly what's going to happen to Hippo here. He's going to have to go back to Zora, only be disappointed with the life lesson he gets.
So g3rd0, now that he has the hammer, he can beat Pod, he can beat Swamp, so he can check out, maybe do a blind pull of the pedestal, right, chat?
Oh, you tease, you tease!
I mean, they still need mitts, they need a way to get into desert, and we don't know about the medallion situation.
No, there was no item in Thieves Town. The last chest, the big chest, had the map, I believe.
Something like that.
It was a dungeon item. I know that for sure. So there's no need for them to check Thieves Town anymore. It is fully cleared. But g3rd0 is making the gamble on Swamp Palace.
You know, I just realized something. This was a required double dip of Skull Woods. You had to go in there to get the first item, which was Mirror. That brings you up to Hera to get Fire Rod, so you can come back. I mean, that's essentially Fire Rod in Skull Woods, only it makes you go out of the way to get that Fire Rod.
Yeah, absolutely. That was indeed a forced double dip. You know, that's the kind of thing that's trolly, but it's the sea trolling. Like there's two different types of ways this game control you. There's the sea trolling you, and then there's you trolling yourself when you accidentally miss something you should have that you could have easily gotten. Agnes Cave being the perfect example here in this seed. If it ends up being a progression item in Agnes Cave, that's the players trolling themselves because they could have gotten that a while ago, and that's going to cost them.
Oh,
single arrow.
Only the best item in the game.
I forget. Who was it said last night? But it called it the arrow that you're going to use to pierce Ganon's heart. That's the last arrow you fire. Is that arrow right there?
I've heard that going around. People talking about that. Apparently, it's also called the validation arrow. So
that's a joke, and quite frankly, it's a joke that needs to die because that's confusing a lot of people. It does not validate a run. You won't get disqualified if you don't get it. It's just a little joke what we like to throw around.
Hey, we got memes.
Oh, there's always memes. Memes will never die. Trust me, I know. You should see the people I work with.
Alright, Hippo finishing off Skull Woods. Unfortunately, he will have to backtrack for that last chest to get his hammer, which I'm sure he'll be glad to see. But hammer on its own doesn't actually unlock that much. I mean, the big deal is Swamp here. But they can, like I said before, they can finish off Pod. I'm not sure if they picked up every item in Pod, so maybe Helmasar has an item. They can also do... Wait, is that it? Until they get mitts, I think that might be it.
Yeah, the mitts do block out a lot of locations.
So mitts are the big deal. That's the last thing. Although, getting mitts, then all of a sudden the seat is wide open again, and they have to make a choice of where they want to go next. Someone's going to make the right play. Ideally, they probably want to get Flute or Book next, so that way they can just go to Desert and then find the mitts.
Indeed, that makes the most sense to me as well. But we'll see how things play out here. g3rd0 going to check the left side of Swamp Palace, make sure he gets all the items. He's got a full clear, which makes sense. Again, we're still looking for a lot of items. They want to make sure they have at least 2 of the medallions to be safe, even though there's no guarantee of which ones are required. They want the Flute so they can get to Misery Mire and Desert Palace. And they, of course, want the Titan's Mist. That's the 3 things that they need for Go Mode at this point. Of course, Silver Arrows wouldn't be bad either. That makes things a lot faster, but they can beat Ganon without them these days.
Hey, maybe they'll be lucky and also get Tempered Sword for Ganon.
Or even go all the way up to Butter. You never know. But we're just looking at the absolute essentials. What do they need to complete this game? And unfortunately, left side not paying off, finding a piece of heart in the compass. So he is going to have to dig in. But I don't know if he found the big key yet, so he may have to backtrack to get that.
So there are 6 items total in Swamp. Hippo is making the call to go kill off Helmasar first. So he must have an item.
Yeah, that's a risky... Well, Pod is also a crystal dungeon, so knocking it out is certainly not a bad call either. Either way, it's once again gamble time. Whose gambles pays off?
g3rd0 has visited Pod already, but of course he wasn't able to finish it at the time.
He just figures he can go clear all the dungeons, get as many items as he can, and then he can go mode the rest of the dungeons he needs to pay off in the end. Again, not a bad call to make, but is it the right call is the question. Well, let's see what happens here. g3rd0 going to be checking these 2 chests here in the back. Piece of heart and the big key. He's going to take that cue, go back upstairs, and grab the big chest to see what it holds.
Now, this stairway has a bit of a bug attached to it. If you just go straight up the steps, Link, for whatever reason, is too high on the screen, and he'll go back down the steps when you go up there. The trick to getting around that is doing a key dash. That's essentially you just go against the bottom wall, dash upwards to the stairs, and hold left. Then you won't go down the steps.
Well, he didn't have to worry about that. He got through, but only finding 20 bucks in the big chest. And I think there's still one more dungeon item left to find. So we're going to be looking for that, or looking out for that. And, of course, trying to get whatever remaining items are hiding here. Oh, there's a piece of art. Means Argus does not hold the last item, if I'm doing my count correctly.
Yeah, I think he has a burrito. They didn't get that yet, did they?
No, they're saying he found it, so perhaps Argus does have the last item, or it could be a small key. I don't know.
Okay. It can be tricky keeping track of two runners. Keep an eye on both of them, see what they pick up.
Indeed, that's what our tracker is for.
Yep.
Thank you. Shout out to Zelda-san for tracking for us, by the way. So g3rd0 now going to take on Argus here. Be a little tricky with only Master Sword, but he's making it work. And then the big question comes due. Does g3rd0 blind pull the pedestal? And while we're doing that, Hippo now taking on the Helmasaur King. 17 whacks with the hammer to knock the mask off, and then it's just a matter of slashing or shooting, and he's going to go for Master Sword slash strat. g3rd0 finishing off Argus, getting 10 arrows for his trouble, but he now has all 3 pendants. So again, does he go for the pedestal?
Oh man. So if let's see what Hippo gets.
Just a burrito.
Okay, so it wasn't an item here. So we have pedestal. Since g3rd0 can go pull that right now, we have the Sahara Pendant. We haven't seen that. And where g3rd0's heading now, Aegina's Cave. One of these things has our progression.
Yeah. One of them has to have it. Either the flute or the Titan's mitts. Let's see what play makes it.
Hippo can't even check the Sahara Pendant since he opted not to clear Hera. He also can't do pedestal. So at this point, all that's left for Hippo is going into Swamp and then Aegina.
Indeed, and Aegina's Cave only has 50 bucks.
All right, this was guaranteed Aghanim Seed. I can say that now.
So props to both of our runners for realizing early enough that they needed to do Aghanim and got it out of the way. Now he's going to check Sarhasala to see what he has, and if Sarhasala does not have anything, it's a blind pedestal pull.
g3rd0, come on. You know what chat wants. We want pedestal first.
Come on. Don't tease us like this.
There goes Hippo. He's entering Swamp. Unfortunately, he's not going to get anything, and he might opt to leave early. If this is a pedestal seed, he has a lot of backtracking to do.
Triple bombs from Sarhasala. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can call it, we have a pedestal pull. Oh, and the hype in chat. The hype in chat. Oh, blind pedestal pull. Because that's exactly where g3rd0 is going. He is heading to the Lost Woods. He is going for the pedestal.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is all we have left.
So what will we find?
Chat is ready.
Is it flute? Is it mitts? Or is it something else entirely? Because the worst thing it could be is a fetch quest item. The Book of Medora, the magic powder, the mushroom, none of those have been found yet. But here we go, folks. All right, let's see what we got here. What is on the pedestal? I think I might want to get ready to clip this, but here we go. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? The book! It's the Book of Medora!
Is this a paradox? This is a paradox.
Oh! The evil! The evil! That means now he has to check the tablets!
I think this is the best thing to happen. A book at pedestal.
Oh, the chat is in pure bliss right now.
So in terms of progression, you mentioned already, they have the tablets. It looks like g3rd0's going to do the Bombos tablet on his way over to Desert because they can now enter Desert.
And if any of the progressions items are on the tablets, then that means Hippo is screwed because it is a required pedestal seed of the worst kind. So g3rd0 now going to check the Bombos tablet first over near Desert. What are we going to find? Red meringue.
Not that easy. You're gonna have to work for this.
So he's going to head into Desert now with what he's got.
So Hippo is doing a full clear of Swamp. He's doing the left-hand side. Then he'll continue on to Argus. And I assume he's going to kill Argus because he had an item.
This is the kind of seed that I love to commentate because you just know that every moment is going to be hype when you get to stuff like that. Those pedestal pulls are always hype. There's the Quake Medallion.
So there are 2 items in Desert. There's one of them. You needed boots to clear this, but of course they had boots early.
Yep, because there's a small key on the torch. You need the boots to get that. So, oh, this is fun. This is fun. No, Baliem? No, this was never a jet seed. This was a shade seed through and through. This was a shade seed because it trolled. There's the Titan Spit!
Oh my gosh.
And since we had not found the flute yet, yeah, we can call it pedestal required seed. Oh, the trolling. The trolling is real.
They're still not even in go mode though. They need flute. At the minimum, they need flute.
Yeah, if Bombos is required for either of the dungeons, they still need to find that too.
So if you chat, you can still hope for more trolls. If you want to see more trolls, flute at Turtle Rock.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
You just realized, didn't you?
I'm enjoying it though. But I feel for the runners right now.
I love how the seed masqueraded as a jet seed at the beginning as well. It's like, here, have a ton of stuff. Boots early? Sure. Have a sword 5 minutes in, no problem. You're going to have to kill Aghanim. You're going to have to blind pull the pedestal. There's nothing you can do about that. And we're still searching for items. We're an hour 10 in.
Also, we didn't notice this, but g3rd0 got the tempered sword from the desert ledge.
Nice. Makes it a little easier to clear these dungeons that he's going to have to do. He can do Ice. He can do Turtle Rock. He can go finish Pod. He's finishing Desert now. Of course, we know Pod has nothing. The only thing for certain we can say is that Flute is not at the Fat Fairy. We will not be visiting the Fat Fairy as far as we know.
No, because you need the flute to get to Misery Mire, which is one of the 2 crystals needed for the Pyramid Theory, so we will not be seeing that.
Wow, I can't believe this happened. Like, we sort of joke about pedestal seeds, but to have it happen and have it happen in this way is so good.
So g3rd0 now picking up his next crystal. That gives him 3 so far. But, oh, man. And I think Hippo's starting to realize that he might need to do a pedestal pull, too, because he's going ahead and finishing off Argus.
I'm wondering if he's going to check the Sahara Pendant first, or if he's just going to blind pull the pedestal.
Well, he's still got to go back and finish off Moldnorm to do that, so we'll see. So what's g3rd0's next play now that he's done that?
He might be heading towards Ice.
I think so. That seems to be where he's going.
Which I think is a nice call. There's 3 items in Ice. We already know Pod doesn't have anything, so he can just clear that later on after he gets his flute.
Oh, and Hippo did not grab the big chest, so he's going to double dip in and check it. Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, Dark World Death Mountain actually has a ton of items in it. There's 6 items. They can now do Spike Cave, so that's 7 items total. They can check that ether tablet since they got that book from our pedestal.
Let's see. There's the compass in the ice palace. Oh man, this is fun.
Prepare for a slog still. Oh, there goes Hippo. I think he realizes he needs that pedestal.
Yeah, he feels it. He at least feels that, yeah, he's getting his pendants. He's already got 2 of them now, so it won't take him long to get the 3rd. Just get it done and over with.
Probably kicking himself for not doing this earlier.
Probably. g3rd0 got a lead out of this. He's going to be able to finish up a lot of dungeons quicker. So, yeah, this hurt Hippo big time in the long run. This was the deciding factor, was the pedestal pull.
So what we're actually going to have to see from Hippo if he wants to recover is, well, he's going to have to do desert. No matter what, he has to do desert. But then the progression has to be at Turtle Rock, and Hippo has to make that call instead of doing ice. That's assuming Flute is at Turtle Rock. Or in that vicinity.
Yeah, if g3rd0 finds the Flute in Ice Palace, it's over.
He wouldn't be 100% in go mode. He'll be in that Schrodinger's go mode that we all love.
But at that point, if he finds the Flute, there's almost no chance for Hippo to catch up.
So Hippo did do a check of Spike Cave there. Only 50 rupees.
So what else does the Ice Palace have to offer? And I always joke because I live in Florida, and of course I'm like just north of Tampa, and the old hockey arena that used to be down here was called the Ice Palace. Not even joking. I think that's how I'm going to do it from the intro from now on. Whenever someone's going there, like, I guess they're heading to Tampa because they're going to the Ice Palace.
Most people aren't going to even get that reference, though.
Well, then again, I'm sure there's a lot of non-wrestling fans who don't get the cane joke either, but we still do it.
That's true. That's still well known, though.
True. Well, then all I have to do is make my joke well known. That's all.
So there are 3 items in Ice Palace. g3rd0 just picked up one of them.
And as Doggy MacGyver points out, at least at this point, 1,871 people know about my joke now, because that's how many people are watching us at this point.
They're learning history.
Yes. It's not just a joke. It's learning.
It's a shame that Hippo had to essentially double dip Hera and come back up just for this pendant. He was making a gamble, hoping it would pay off.
Yeah, that's the thing about Randomizer. You can be one of the best runners in the world, but if the seed just trolls you like this, that's what costs you more often than not. It's not your skills as a runner, because some of these guys are really good runners. You know, that's why they're in this tournament, but the seed just did not favor them. You know, favor their particular routing. It did not favor their particular strategies. Being a bottle there for g3rd0.
Did he get the big key?
I honestly don't know. I don't think he did, because he didn't check the big chest. And unfortunately, Trolldorm living up to his nickname here, because Hippo got trolled.
Okay, yeah, he did get the big key, so he'll be able to do the hookshot strat to check out the big chest.
For another
the last
small key.
item is on Cold Stare.
Ooh.
But we haven't gotten anything progression-worthy yet.
That's true. That is very true. So that means the next for this would probably be Turtle Rock. Then again, he also does have all of Dark Death Mountain to check. Super Bunny Cave, Hookshot Cave. Still quite a few things. Oh, about a Dirk. Thank you. If Ice Palace is in the Dark World, it's in the future. That must mean that when it left Tampa, it went to the Dark World. Hashtag lore.
We are learning.
Yeah, told you. Thank you. Thank you, about a Dirk. You have just made my day. And Cold Stare drops Butter Sword.
Wow. I mean, it's nice to have, but our progression is elsewhere. All right, Hippo is doing pedestal first. Even though he can go to Sahara, he's doing pedestal, and this is the right play. He doesn't know this yet. This is the right play.
Yep, he's not wasting time. He's going right for the pedestal. He's going to be happy with what he's going to be... I wouldn't say happy, but he's going to be intrigued by what he finds there. Oh, Dr. Poptastic, I'm sorry, but your progression is in another castle.
One last look at our pedestal book. Beautiful. Someone crammed the book in there. Oh my gosh.
I wonder if he's a little upset about what he found there. Maybe just a little.
Oh my gosh. I love both of our runners' reaction to that book.
That is beautiful.
All right, here's g3rd0. He's up at Death Mountain. He's going to check the Ether Tablet, and I'm going to assume he's heading over towards Turtle Rock.
That would be my call. Let's see what Ether Tablet has. Just a piece of heart. So the Book of Medora wasn't entirely useless. They did need it to get into desert, but man, is that trolly.
Yep. Oh no, g3rd0 blocking himself in.
Oh, dead rocks, never fun. I call those the unofficial mascots of the Randomizer tournament because they are the hardest to kill, they're the most annoying, and they can just troll you anytime they want.
Absolutely the worst enemy in this game. Alright, can they even go into Turtle Rock? The answer is yes.
Ether.
Ether was required, so it's a good thing our runners picked that up.
Yes, indeed. Ooh, this should be fun.
Now, aside from Turtle Rock and Death Mountain, they can also do the dwarves, purple chest, the hammer pegs. Those are all things we haven't seen either. That could be a flute.
That is true, but g3rd0 is going to stop by the hookshot cave first. See what he finds. There's the
There
portal!
it is. And he's done. He's putting himself in go mode. If Bombos is required, though.
Yeah, that's the
interesting.
question.
He's not even doing Turtle Rock first.
He wants to save that for last if he can, because he wants to go mode that and then rush right over to Ganon's Tower. I can see the thinking in his head.
Yeah. He's going to confirm he's in go mode first, because if he has to come back up and full clear Turtle Rock, that's no big deal. He can also finish Hookshot Cave while he's there. So as soon as he makes his way over to Meyer, we'll find out if he's in go mode. All rise for your duck anthem. I don't sing it. Just
Neither do I.
In your head.
The only thing I say is that the goose is loose. And indeed, he's wasting no time. He's going right for the Meyer area.
I mean, chances are pretty good. He has 2 of 3 medallions, so we have like a 66% chance.
And it's Ether!
Ether again! Maybe we'll get a bird toss.
You know
Probably
what?
not, but maybe.
Yeah, but you know what? Aside from maybe wanting silvers, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Ladies and gentlemen, g3rd0 has entered Go Mode!
With a bird toss to celebrate. Hippo is finishing up Desert Nail. He has his mitts. Hopefully, he makes his way up to that hookshot cave to enter Go Mode himself. I mean, in terms of crystals, they have the same number of crystals. It's just that g3rd0's in Go Mode, and every minute that you're in Go Mode puts you much further ahead of your opponent.
Yeah, and bear in mind, g3rd0 still has to go back and finish Pod. He didn't finish that like Hippo did, so but he can Go Mode that anyway, so it won't take him long to finish it.
Oh, Hippo. He went to Death Mountain first. This is going to be a close one.
If he goes to Hookshot Cave first and gets his flute, that could be his opportunity to catch up.
You know what would be interesting is if Hippo also finds silvers while he's looking for that flute.
Yeah, because g3rd0 did not check Super Money Cave. If it's in there, that will be huge.
Oh, just missing the hookshot glitch on Hippo's end.
g3rd0 now is just looking for the big key at this point. He knows he doesn't need anything else, so he is Go-moding it. But he needs that big key to be able to get into Vitreous. Now, it's true that silvers wouldn't make up a lot of time, but let's bear in mind, they're not too far behind each other. If they are very close to each other, by the time they get to Ganon, silvers can make the difference.
Yep. All right, Hippo. Little does he know he's about to be in Go Mode. There's the flute.
But he's going to check the rest. There's a 10 bomb upgrade.
There's a magic powder on g3rd0's end. He found both items in Mire. Very troll. I think where g3rd0's heading now is probably the Trolley's location for the big key in Mire, since you sort of have to backtrack to the right-hand side to get it.
Which is what he's going to do now.
Okay, Hippo, he verified that he can enter Turtle Rock, and it looks like he's going in. He's going for it.
Very interesting play here. Now, as chat points out, because he is now in Go Mode, he can speed through Ice Palace, allowing him to finish it a bit faster. That's another chance for him to catch up, because g3rd0 had to full clear it.
I'd like to see what Hippo actually does. If he goes to Mimic Cave, then he doesn't realize he's in Go Mode yet, or he's not taking the chance, I should say. Of course, if he finds Bombos early in Turtle Rock, then he's also just going to be in Go Mode. So I would say Hippo, in general, is about a half a dungeon behind at this point, which can, as we mentioned, be a big difference if Hippo does find silvers and g3rd0 does not.
Yeah, because if g3rd0 has to do silverless Ganon and Hippo has the silvers, that's a big time difference between the two. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Now, Hippo is definitely going to have Butter Sword since it was dropped by Cold Stare. So that's not even a difference.
g3rd0 now making his way to Vitreous here. He's going to have to do this with sword strats since he doesn't have silvers. But let's see how and he's going to use cape strats to make it a little easier on himself.
I mean, Hippo's doing the standard clear of Turtle Rock. There's no way to go mode this dungeon until later on. We'll be able to tell if he put himself in go mode if he skips the big key chest, since he just picked up the big key, or he skips the Mimic Cave, or Laser Bridge if he has enough keys. So yeah, we don't know yet if he thinks he's in go mode.
Exactly. And of course, if he does find enough small keys along the way, if he skips Laser Bridge, then he's considering himself in go mode. g3rd0 finishing off Vitreous now, heading off. His next destination is most likely Pod to finish that up. And it looks like I think Vitreous dropped the bug net.
Yep. Wait, what?
Oh no, never mind. Hippo found it. Hippo found Bugnet and Turtle Rock. My bad.
I was gonna say, we already saw 2 items in Mire.
My apologies. I was misreading that. But yeah, Hippo found the Bugnet and Turtle Rock. But there's still quite a few items left to find. So we still don't know what he's doing yet. And he unfortunately got Buddy Beam before he can get the key. This Pokey is trolling him.
It ended up being like a bad Pokey RNG for where he was set up at. There he is. He's not going to the big key chest.
Nope. He is skipping that one chest. He is in go mode as far as he's concerned.
g3rd0 making his way through the last portion of Pod.
And
the last time.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the last item for go mode was the flute.
It's looking that way, but yeah, and it looks like Hippo. He skipped the big chest. He skipped the Mimic Cave. He is in go mode as far as he's concerned.
And he has enough keys. He doesn't even have to go to Laser Bridge.
The only thing he will potentially miss out on is the silver arrows, because we don't know where those are yet, and they could be in Turtle Rock, but if he knows how to do Silverless Ganon effectively, he won't have to have those silvers. So this could be his race to catch up on. Yeah, he's skipping Laser Bridge. This also means he's most likely going to go mode Ice Palace, which is not an easy go mode either, but easy enough that it can help him catch up. So definitely on the right track here.
He's a little low on Hippo's a little low on hearts there. He's gonna have to be careful. Get a lot of practice fighting against Trinex when you practice randos anyway, so he should be fine. But let's watch and see what happens.
Off to a good start so far. Unfortunately, couldn't beat the Ice Head before it laid down some of its icy breath, so unfortunately he's going to be doing some slipping and sliding. But if he hits Trinex this way, he can one-cycle it and be no problem. Yep, couldn't quite get it, but he does finish him off rather quickly, all things considered.
Just a compass. So there were items on the Laser Bridge. We didn't see the map, so...
Now g3rd0's going to make his way into Turtle Rock. Unfortunately, Hippo still has 2 dungeons left to complete. So he is a bit behind here. But if he plays his cards properly, he could go mode both those dungeons and get through pretty quickly.
I'm going to assume Hippo's going to activate his flute, head over to Myers so he can verify that he's actually in go mode, since he's been gambling from his perspective.
What does hurt Hippo right now also is that g3rd0 is doing Turtle Rock last, meaning once he finishes it, he'll be able to go straight to Ganon's Tower in no time which is going to give him much more time. He made the call to not do Turtle Rock when he could have. That's actually going to save him time now.
He has to search for the big key in Mire. That's going to take some time. At least he can go mode Ice Palace by doing a bomb jump. But yeah, g3rd0 in full-on rush mode at this point. I would say the biggest thing that set Hippo back at this point is just the fact that he had to go back up and do Hera again. And when he also went over to Zora and double-checked that when he didn't have enough rupees there.
Yeah, those two double dips I think is what cost him the run, because if he hadn't done those, if he had done Hera the first time and had not bothered checking Zora again, or had checked it later when he couldn't have afforded to, he probably would have saved himself enough time. This would have been a lot closer of a race.
I mean, I think that's a good lesson for anyone who's learning to do Randomizer. If you're in the middle of Hera, just because you pick up 2 items and it's a pendant, you should still consider clearing it, just in case it ends up being a pedestal seed. Especially if it was a Sahara pendant. That's why I'm really surprised at that call.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, and Hera is such an easy dungeon to clear no matter what. There's really no reason not to pendant or not, because more often than not, it pays off to do so. And even if it is a waste of time, it's such a small waste that it won't hurt you in the long run.
It's funny that a number of people were actually doing the standard weekly that we have at 3 p.m. Eastern. And so they missed out on the hype of a pedestal seed.
Yeah, no kidding.
g3rd0, of course, not going to check the big key chest. He has everything he needs to beat the dungeon. He's in go mode.
They are both on a very similar pass right now. Once again, I'd like to take this time to remind you folks, if you're enjoying our 2 runners, Hippo S and g3rd0, please consider giving them a follow on their Twitch channels. Again, they are working hard to give you guys an entertaining race, and I think they've all but succeeded at this point.
I think they earned the follow after this pedestal seed.
I'm actually always interested to see people's channels after a race. I was actually I think I was on your channel after your race, and I was watching you trying to check those last dungeons to find those sword upgrades, and I just saw how the amount of followers you were getting after that race.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I was also one of them.
Well, thank you for that follow. Alright, g3rd0's about to get his last small key here. He is done with small keys and checking chest in Turtle Rock. He's going to make his way to Trinex. Hippo is going to check the big key chest first before he goes to get the big key from the right-hand side.
g3rd0 now, like you said, skipping Laser Bridge and heading his way to Trinex.
Yeah, at this point, Hippo is an Ice Palace behind. It's an it's a go mode Ice Palace, but it's still gonna be about 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah,
4 minutes,
that's still,
I think.
and then that's just more time for g3rd0 to finish. And he's got Butter Sword, so he's gonna have a much easier fight against Trinex. Very quickly clearing through the first phase and going to be able to finish off the main phase very fast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with g3rd0 finishing up Try next, he's going to be making his way to Ganon's Tower. There are 22 possible item locations in Ganon's Tower to which the big key can be hiding. What number do you think it's going to be? If you are a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming channels or have cheered 250 bits or more, you can play our little game to decide, and if you win, you'll be on our leaderboards, which you'll see later on as we finish up. So get your numbers in there. Jet, where do you think it's going to be?
You know, I'm a little divided. Part of me wants to say 9. Sort of nice, non-trolly number. A part of me wants to say 22, because I'm not yet done seeing the trolls of this city.
I'm going to go location more than number, because that's just how I roll. I'm going to go say fire bar room. That room with the 2 fire bars.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Alright, well, let's start counting them up and see what g3rd0 finds.
Indeed. First chest, small key. Second chest, small rupee.
And he's going to the right-hand side because he got that small key.
Yep, he's going to skip right past the tile room. Don't blame him. Nobody likes doing the tile room if they can help it.
It's 40 seconds that you could spend doing other things. Oh no, you got pushed out.
Oh, gotta love when that happens. This g3rd0 is not making it easy for him either. This g3rd0. The g3rd0 is not making it easy for g3rd0. Anyway, here we go. Chest number 3, Bloomerang. Chest number 4, Red Rupee. 5,
Ooh.
Silvers. 6, 5 palm upgrade.
Well, there go the silvers.
Yep, this seed's over. g3rd0's got this in the bag. There's no way he's losing at this point.
Well, now, we got a number. We got Troll Dorm. We got Ganon himself that can knock you off. Hippo's not down and out for the count just yet. Wow!
Oh, there it is. That's number 7.
Number 7. Normally that's number 3, but since g3rd0 went right first, it is number 7. So congrats.
And shout out to our tracker, Zelda Dazan. He was the one that guessed it correctly.
The tracker hacks. How did he know?
I don't know. That does give Hippo a slim chance to catch up if he decides to go left side first and finds it in what would be his first item location.
But he won't have silvers, which saves a bit of time on Ganon. It's sort of a wash.
Yeah, there's really no way for him to recover from this because it's one way he gets through Ganon's tower faster, the other way he can defeat Ganon faster. So yeah, either way, what he makes up going one way, he falls behind doing the other.
So Hippo's about to make his way over to the bomb jump location, so we can see him pull that off. g3rd0's making his way through the gauntlet of Ganon's tower. First try.
Yeah, he's having a little trouble getting through the gauntlet here. Using that fire rod to take out the Stalfos, getting through. He's taking no damage whatsoever. That was very efficient. And a very quick land mode, too, using those silver arrows now that he's got them. He is just blazing through this area.
I'm sort of curious what's going through g3rd0's head at this point. Like, if he feels far behind just based on the way the items fell in this seed.
Honestly, I don't think he probably doesn't feel too far behind because he's not sure whether or not Hippo pulled the pedestal like he did.
Yeah. All right, Hippo about to tackle Cold Stare, and of course he'll also get his Butter Sword upgrade.
The only good item left for our runners to find is the red mail, which they never did find. So unless it's here, and unless they check those chests to find it, then it's probably hiding in Turtle Rock somewhere, because that was the only place they never full cleared.
I mean, they have 13 to 15 hearts. They have blue mail. They really don't need that red mail.
No, I don't see them going for it.
There's the Butter Sword for Hippo. g3rd0 about to fight Trolldorm 2. Pedestal was required, and Aghanim was required this seed.
And 2 running dash attacks into Trolldorm. He is down and out. Will he check the final chest? No.
Oh. Way to go, g3rd0. Love it. Good choice. Don't worry, chat. It's not an actual DQ. It's just memes.
Just memes. Elminster, the backdoor desert, was the flute was missing. That was their go mode item, so they were never going to go that way.
Yeah, he did a bird toss for us. Do you really? This should just cancel it out. Like, you know, it's all right. Give him skipping the validation chest.
I'll let him have that one. Anyway, he takes out Aghanim 2, and now it's time for the big pig.
So Hippo's about 30 seconds or so from even getting into Ganon's tower, and then he has to find that big key. He's got a ways to go. I would say at this point he's about 7 minutes behind.
Also, someone in the chat mentioned the quote-unquote validation chest is like saving the animals in Super Retroid. You're absolutely right. Not important at all. Doesn't do anything for you. You just do it for the lulz.
You know, with Randomizer being run at GDQ, do you think that's going to be a donation incentive?
Ooh, I didn't think about that. That is brilliant.
I mean, this is our version of saving the animals.
It is. We should let the GDQ people know about that. Like you can't, don't have to save the animals? Check the validation chest. There's your new save the animals vote.
Keep in mind, it's Andy, and we know he can hover. So we want the vote to go towards opening the validation chest, because then he has to kill Moldorm.
And yes, folks, we can confirm this is getting run at AGDQ 2018.
Christos
and I think we just got some hype for that.
I'm gonna be there in person for
that. What a shot! Triple silvers there again, and g3rd0 with an amazing finish.
GG to g3rd0. Well done. All right, there's g3rd0. He finished with an official time of 1:43.38.
What a race!
There's some silvers for Hippo.
g3rd0 has confirmed he'll be joining us here shortly for an interview. But yeah, GG with an incredible race. Nicely done by g3rd0. Holy cow.
And there's a big key. Hippo's going to make his way up. He has Butter Sword. He has silvers. It'll be quick work of Ganon. It looks like G3rd0 will eventually be joining us for an interview. But while we wait,
we will say that immediately afterwards, here in just a few minutes, we will have another race starting right after this with Sygard and JSR, starting at supposedly at 6 p.m. So we probably won't be able to talk too long, but we will definitely check that out.
I mean, I want to hear the runner's thoughts on this seed.
Absolutely.
I at least want to hear that before we move on.
Oh, we will, but we definitely can't keep it too long because we want to make sure we give room for our other racers as well. But, oh, man, this seed. Also, unfortunately, the emulator for G3rd0 crashed while setting things up. So we won't be seeing his screen anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, that last Alpha's trolling Hippo. So Hippo's making his way through the gauntlet section. We call it the gauntlet because you have to kill all the enemies in these rooms for the door to open up. It's capped off with the Land Mode 2 fight.
All right, G3rd0's in the waiting room. Let me go ahead and pull him in. G3rd0, congratulations, sir.
Thanks.
Congrats, GG. What a seed. What a seed. I hope you enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I definitely did. The hook on the pedestal was... it was really funny. I was worried during Swamp that the green pendant had something, and I did Swamp for nothing, but all turned out well.
Yep.
Yeah, that pedestal pull, without a doubt, was the deciding factor, because Hippo did not get those pendants right away. He actually had to double dip into Hera, which I think was inevitably what cost him the run.
Yeah, well, it was, I think Hera was the green pendant, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was, I think when I was up there, I didn't have many options left, so I just finished it. I didn't have the pedestal on my mind at that point. But yeah.
Well, it definitely worked out in the end there. I know we were going through it in chat. I think pedestal was actually the last place you possibly could have checked by then. Like, you were cashing in on the Sahara Pendant, and then eventually you're like, okay, I'll finally go do pedestal, and there you go.
I think I had the spy cave left at that point, but I'm not even sure if that wasn't the logic, but...
Not usually. Every once in a while it may have something, but not this time, because Hippo did check that, and there I think it was like $50 in there.
Yep.
So you made the right call. But again, it was between not finishing Hera, and he also double dipped Zora, because he went there once with fake flippers and didn't do anything because he didn't have enough money. So he decided he had to go back for that. He's hammering the validation chest.
We don't know what's in it. We'll never see, chat. Oh well.
Nope. We will. Well, what else could it be? At best, maybe red mail. That's the best you can find out of it.
And we'll never know. Beautiful. So G3rd0, going through your head, I know you're clearing the Dark World, and you still had a Genus Cave, of course, like early on, but you're like pretty much not getting anything of worth. Was it going through your head that maybe you made the wrong call killing Aghanim because you just weren't finding anything?
When I did Aghanim, I think I had a Genus Cave and the Battle Kit left, and I checked the Battle Kit relatively early in the Dark World. Yeah, of course it was in the back of my mind that Mitz or Hammer could have been there, but chances are so low that I wasn't really worried, to be honest.
Well, it ended up working out in the end. Hippo did go get into Dark World before you did. He actually didn't go up the Death Mountain at all the first time. He just made the call. He went up, killed. He went to Aghanim's Tower, and then he did Pod first, which allowed you to pull ahead because around that time you were doing Aghanim's Tower.
Yeah.
So you guys were going back and forth a little bit at the beginning, but then as we mentioned, when Hippo decided to leave Hera early and it ended up being a pedestal seed, like that's really what killed his run.
Yeah. I thought about doing Pod early myself because the bow was so early and Amos didn't have anything. And I thought the bow had to lead to something. So
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised that Pod didn't have anything useful.
I
But
mean,
in the end it turned out that the bow was needed for the pedestal, which was pretty funny.
right. Alright, Hippo is on Ganon. It's a very quick fight with Buttersword. It's only 6 slashes per phase. He's already on to phase 3.
Also, I got to give you credit for that awesome triple silver shot right there at the end. That was amazing. I mean, double shot is tricky enough, but you got a triple on him, which is what let you kill him so fast. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's not that hard if you know how to position yourself.
So, any other thoughts about the seed or the run in general that you'd like to share?
Not really. Like, I think this was the first seed for me in the tournament, which was kinda interesting. Every seed in the Swiss stage was pretty linear and boring, to be honest, but this one was pretty fun.
Oh, knocked off by the fire bat. Hippo is going to have to restart his fight with Ganon. Unfortunately, that is going to hurt. He's hammered. He is not happy.
He's trying to finish quickly, and so he's low on hearts, but he can get a fairy bonking into the tree down here.
Also, what was going through your mind when you went into the well and found the bow, the power glove, and I believe the moon pearl all in one go?
Yeah, that was pretty sick. I think the boots were in there as well.
Yeah.
That's what it was, the boot. Yeah, 4 items in one location. That must have been sick.
Yeah, that was sick. Like, I had trouble marking everything on my tracker, leaving that well. Because there were so many items.
I hear ya, man. I hear ya.
So as I was saying, Ganon requires 6 hits per phase with the Buttersword. Hippo has enough for to get to phase 3.
Everyone says I have a reputation that whenever I commentate a seed, it gets trolly like this. So glad you guys enjoyed my reputation holding true.
This has to be one of chat's favorite races.
It's up there, that's for sure.
The trolleys, that has to be the trolleys item. That's actually part of the newer logic, because when they originally were putting in, designing the randomizer, when they were designing the randomizer, they made book be a requirement to even look at pedestal.
There we go. Hippo finally finishing it off.
GG to Hippo.
And as Hippo enters the room here...
He froze. Oh, because he was shooting a bow at the same time.
Oh, so it's soft locked. But he does technically finish with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 9 seconds.
There he goes.
Yeah. And he is opted not to join us for an interview as well. So any final words from you, g3rd0, before we sign off?
Not really. I hope the future seeds will be this fun as well, but that's it.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. Congratulations again, g3rd0. Hope to see you have some more fun here in this tournament. In the meantime, like we said before, folks, make sure you give both Hippo and g3rd0 a follow here on Twitch. Same with our tracker, Zelda Sasan, myself, and my co-commentator, g3rd0, and of course, make sure you follow all of our channels, Speed Gaming 1 through 4, as well as ALTTP Randomizer 0 through 4, for all of our secondary tournament action. But don't go anywhere, folks. We have another race starting on this channel here immediately as we wrap this one up. So make sure you stay tuned for that here. Any final words from you, Jet, before we go?
Nope, this was a fun race. thanks for having me.
Yeah, hey, no, hey, thank you for joining me, my friend. This has been a lot of fun. In the meantime, on behalf of everybody here at Speed Gaming, I'm the Shades, and we will see you guys next time. Rock on!
Have a good one.